going, you could, I mean, even though during this next semester we're going to continue online, of course, but I expect that, I hope that in the next one we might see each other, you see. I think it's a little bit sad, this kind of stuff, in terms of uh, what is happening. Oh my, sorry. I was listening to my own voice. It's because we are on YouTube. Hey, hello YouTube. And I was like having a back, an echo here. Let me just do a little thing here. Just 1 second, guys. What is it? Oh, it's here. So, as I was saying, I think it's a little bit sad, like a loss in a way of not seeing your own colleagues, presentially. I think that when it happens, and also you, even though you have the teacher right there to help you in general, it's not the same as being at the university in terms of materials. Also, not everybody has the materials in their own. But anywho, that's not the main topic of the day, but just having a little thing of what actually I was discussing with some of the teachers. So yeah, passing through it, let me see it. We have a lot of people today. That's excellent. Let me ask you all: is there anyone here in TNT on the TNT on this meeting for the first time? Just so that I know. Anyone for the first time? The very
Hi.
first time? Hello, Anna. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Is it your first time here?
Yes, my first time.
That's excellent. Are you here on TNT for the first time or on my meeting for the first time?
On TNT.
On TNT. Oh, that's
Yes.
excellent. Great. Welcome aboard. Where are you
Thank
from?
you. I'm from Palmas, Tocantins, Brazil.
Oh, excellent. That's great. Oh, I'm just asking because we mostly have people from all Brazil here usually, but sometimes we count on some foreign ones that come. That's great. Excellent. And have you known TNT from social medias?
No,
No?
I don't.
It was like a recommendation?
Yes, from a Telegram group about
Oh, great.
English.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed this meeting. Anyone else for the first time?
I'm here for the first time in your meeting in TNT
Oh,
Not.
oh, excellent. So welcome aboard again. You probably know, or have more people. We probably know a little bit how this works, but welcome aboard again. And just so, okay then, just let me explain, okay, to you all as we have even more now that we have more new people here. So how this works, for those who don't know me, my name is Vitor. I'm 20 years old. I, I'm from Salvador in Bahia. I am I studied college, Portuguese and English. I'm an English teacher, and I've been hosting these meetings since August last year, I think so. So I'm here to host this meeting. I am here to help you all in what I can. So these incentives are e-apprentice free project. Okay, it's open to everyone in the world, as I told Anna. Okay, you have people mostly from Brazil, but you can find people from other countries. You have not just English, you have Spanish, German, French, other languages from Monday to Saturday. You can schedule on our website. I'm gonna send the website in the end of the meeting. Okay. Uh, this is not a class, okay? This is just a moment, a free and calm moment for you guys to relax and have a good time, okay? That's the main point in here. Even though today specific, I don't know if you guys are on our Telegram group, we post the topic there, we posted it. The topic of today, we actually are in a week, in a thematic week, and the main topic is racism, okay? The topic that I chose as a suggestion from you from the last meeting, you guys gave me some feedbacks, was business accountability. For those who don't know, accountability is a word in English that you can use for like responsibility. What is the business, the company's responsibility in terms of racism? Are they responsible at all or not? This is the topic that I want you guys to discuss today. I know racism is not a topic that it's easy to discuss even in your mother language. I can imagine it, but it's important to discuss it at any matter. And yeah, I always say this, but even more today, remember, we are here to be polite. We are here to have a good time talking in another language. So it's important to respect others' opinion. And even though that it doesn't allow you to share any kind of hate speech in here, okay? This is not gonna be accepted. And I have the power, and I hope I don't need to use it, but I have the power to block someone from the meeting if someone is bothering the other ones, okay? And if you guys need my help, you can always ask me. Remember that you have a help button on your screen, okay? Oh yeah. And besides that, we are in the main room right now. We have 16 people. I'm gonna split you guys, divide in small rooms. I think like 2 or 3, so that you guys can feel more comfortable. You guys can have a good conversation, okay? Let me see. We have these groups here. What else? One of the groups is gonna be with me. Please, in the breakout room, present yourself. Tell me your name, where you're from, your age, what you do in your life. And after that, choose a leader. A leader is just a person who is going to ask the questions. And I realized that I didn't send the questions. Let me send the questions here. The questions I based myself in this article. Okay. It's from the Harvard Institute. I don't remember right now the full name, but I think those questions are just a guide. Okay, you don't need to follow it specific as it is. You can ask them if you want. If you want to talk about something else related to the topic, that's okay. That's up to you. Let me put it here. So I think you have it all. I think there was just a little bit. I know it's a little bit. Put here. I worked a little bit out on these questions, okay? But just take your time to read a little bit, to read and to think, and then you answer. Remember, we are not here to judge you in your English level. You can talk as much as you want, as much as you can. Did I forget something? We are going to have this meeting up to 10 to 6, and I think that's all I need to say. So I'm going to split you guys right now. I have you all here. Do you guys have any questions? Ana, Maria, no questions? No? Okay then. So please have fun, work hard, see ya. Accept invitation is gonna appear on your screen. If you're on a cell phone, click on the participants point button and you're gonna find it there, okay? Be respectful, I'm here. So, I think, who do you have here? We have Amanda, we have Dalmo, we have Maria and Samara. Those are the ones who are going to be with me today. I presented myself already. Who is the next one?
Okay, so I'm Samara. I am 23. I am living in São Paulo, Carapicuíba currently, but in 2 days I will move to Barueri. And it's not my first time here. I have been here in TNT a lot, so that's it.
Awesome. Welcome aboard again.
Hi guys, my name is Amanda. I'm 30 years old. I live in São Paulo too. And that's all.
Oh, okay then. What do you do in your life?
I'm executive, but now I'm looking for a job.
Oh,
I'm executive secretary, but now I'm looking for a job.
oh, I hope you find it as soon as possible. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy it.
So, hello, my name is Dalmo. I'm from Belo Horizonte. I'm 34 years old. I'm a doctor, and I'm glad to be here with all you.
We are glad to have you here again. Maria?
Hello, I'm Maria. I'm 15 years old and I'm a student.
Oh, that's excellent. So I think you are one of the youngest ones here. That's excellent to have you here. So let me go to the first question, okay? The first question that you guys have on the chat is, are you good at planning goals for the future? Do you think words and ideas making a difference in the world? And is it enough, like the words and the on? What do you guys think about it?
Yes, actually, I'm quite good at planning. I like to plan my goals. I like to imagine myself doing what I'm planning, for example. So if I wanna work in a big company, I like to imagine like working already, you know, like even if I'm not working, I like to do it. And I think
Oh,
words and ideas make. Yes, of course.
mm-hmm.
I think I also believe in energy. So for example,
Oh,
if you are a person that loves complain about everything, it will attract.
oh, I see. Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
attract what you say. So I try to be a positive person. I try to be positive to others as well. So I like to talk about positive things. I like to support my friends, for example, in their dreams, and that's it.
Awesome. Do you think that's enough in terms of planning and words? That's enough to make the difference in the world?
Yes, of course you have to have a plan as well.
Mm,
You don't have just to say, "Oh my God, I want to work," and I don't know, in Nestle, and just I want to work and do nothing to get your aim.
I see.
So besides, uh, say you have to act as well.
Oh, I see. Maria, do you agree?
I agree. I think it's not enough you just dream. You need to have dreams that you know it's possible to do, to make real, and have some effort to and try to get it with all your strength. And I think yes, it's important planning. I just think you can transform it in an anxious. It's something that it's a problem of me that when I think in the future, I used to be anxious, and it's bad for me for my health,
I
and
see.
for sure it makes difference. If anyone had some dreams, we won't have famous people. We won't have different people in the world like big doctors or people who make difference in the world.
Mm-hmm. I see. So you are in my club, actually. I am also, actually quite good at planning and this kind of stuff, and I need to take care of it because to be careful. Because if I don't, I really need to. I just stay in stuck where I am, and I think that they are cute. They are good, excellent words and plans, but also you need some actions to make difference. Also, okay, Dalma, what do you think
Yes,
about it?
and sorry, I'm sometimes I will look to other side because I'm studying while
Oh,
I am in this meeting,
oh, that's
hearing
okay.
you. So don't be mad or sad about it, okay?
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We are here just to have fun. Nobody's here judging you. Okay? Tamo?
I agree with what you were been saying, but something that I apply in my life is I like to have a plan and
Mm-hmm.
to for that things get easy to achieve, get easier to achieve. But I think that we must know how to deal with the things that might happen in our lives or different ways that maybe come in our way, and because it always happen in our life. Even though we have a plan, a lot of different things can occur in our lives, and we must be smart enough to change our ways.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. The last one?
Me. And I'm a good at planning goals, and because I'm organizing a plan very well because it's necessary to accomplish your dreams. And I think the same Samara because when she say about think positive and attraction, what do you think, something like this. And it's good when you, I don't know, for example, you read a book that you develop yourself. It's good to knowledge your, I don't know, self-knowledge, yeah,
Uh-huh.
because it's helping you in the future and have a good, good and clear objects, goals
Mhm.
or dreams.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. So let's head to the next one. It's, do you remember a meeting you've participated in discussing about race or race justice? How do you feel in those meetings? And how necessary is it and why?
Yes, actually, my last TNT was about racism, and I was with Dalmo in the same room, and it was a bit really just discomfort because even in Portuguese, when you have to discuss this topic, it's not so easy to approach it. So I feel a little bit discomfort with this team, and but I recognize that it is really necessary, mainly and nowadays.
Is that idea because racism, race justice in general, it's an issue. It's a society issue, and as it is discomfortable for us. We are
Yes.
uncomfortable for us. We are not, uh, like in general as animals. We don't like to deal with problems. So even as you said, in our mother language, this is not something that is easy to be discussed. But in my opinion, it is important to discuss because
Mm-hmm.
we are in a society. We need to discuss and improve ourselves, you know. So I think that
Yes.
like it
I
is.
prefer actually in Portuguese and
Mhm.
or even in English. I prefer just listen what the person has to say than they say things that I don't know. Because
I
it is
see.
really it is important and delicate thing. I don't know, dedicated. Is it
Dedicated.
right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank you. So it's dedicated to approach and to say. So I prefer just listen, and then when I have knowledge enough to discuss
Mhm.
properly, I prefer just listen.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. I was gonna say something. Is that, oh yeah, and as you said, this point of listening, I think it's very important nowadays because, in my point of view, we are losing it a lot. We are not being able at all to not just deal with different opinions, but even to listen to them, which is the basic
Yes.
ones. Do you agree, Dalmo?
Yes, and one thing that happened this week, I don't remember what the day, Samara, that we've been together, but
Yesterday.
yesterday, because I'm here every day this week,
Oh,
and
that's excellent. See, he's getting
what
addicted
I
already.
what I realized is that in the Monday, it was very hard to me. I didn't know what I will say or how I would react. But
Mhm.
as I was in a lot of meetings discussing this subject, I I feel more comfortable
I see.
because I listen to many people's, I hear their opinion, and now I'm more comfortable to share my experience.
Mhm.
Even I'm not being a black person, I had my past, and in my past there was situations when racism was present,
Mhm.
and I never had the opportunity to discuss this with nobody. And now I'm having this opportunity to ask something that I didn't understand or to share the experience and see how the other people see this situation. if they see as I saw in that eye. And so I think that's very important for us to feel more comfortable, because then we can discuss even more in the future.
Yeah, exactly as it is. That's important what you said, that in my point of view also, these topics, of course, they are not new. Talk about racism and they are not new at all. But in terms of centuries, we might be talking more about it. And specifically in this point, what you said, at this point of not only black people should talk about racism. That's something that we always see. It has been said always since I know, as far as I know, but it's even more said nowadays that everyone should take place in these kind of discussions, because everyone is in the society, and this is something that involves everyone. You see, that's what I think also. And I think we also have Maria.
Yes, I agree with Dalma. Sometimes it's hard when I'm some discuss like that. Sometimes I stay scared about someone understand wrong what I'm trying to say. And this discussing for me is common. At school, we discuss it a lot, especially in philosophy or I don't know how to say sociology, but
Sociology.
sociology. Sociology, okay. We discuss it a lot, and for me, it's incredible how in Brazil we have a lot of black people, and nowadays it still exists people racist. I really can't understand how someone can be racist in a country where the majority of the people are black. That's my opinion.
I see. And I can't stand how I can live in a city, the blackest city outside Africa, which is Salvador. If you guys don't know it, Salvador is the blackest city outside Africa, and still we have a lot of racism here. Believe it. And also we have Amanda.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because it's time necessary to talk about it because nowadays the racism is increase or decrease. Sometimes
Increase,
increase.
decrease.
Yes, increase a lot, and I participated yesterday on TNT.
Oh.
And it's good because you share about your opinion, and sometimes it's uncomfortable because I don't know. I think I'm expression what I may say, and I'm say correct because nowadays there are a lot of words that's not correct to talk. For example, criado mudo, but yeah, and it's complicated. I'm black people, and sometimes there are people don't respect and they don't respect you, your hair or your opinions. Complicated.
Exactly. Is that it's interesting to see how these issues they are so into our society that impacts our language, impacts throughout the history how we calls the some things as we had the word. I don't know if there is in English like it, but it is denegrir in Portuguese. And this is something that we cannot say this anymore because this is clearly racist to say, and this kind
Yeah.
of thing that is complicating this point exactly. Good point that you brought up. So the third one is: have you ever worked for a company? Do you think your country's companies are hypocritical about meeting their own values, race-wise? When you say race-wise, is related to race, exactly, related to race. And why? I don't know if the company you guys might have worked at had this kind of values related to by being diverse. Some companies are being quite open this kind of way, right? I think so. I don't know if you guys have something to share about it.
Yes, actually, in my current company, last year for example, I was working in a project which I had to include people of color. And then I sent to my manager a lot of names, like a lot of names. And of course, in this list had black people and also white people. And the majority of people who my company convocated was white. And I was like, okay.
Oh my.
Because because the reason why I did this list was to do like a big event to approach the races and how people can be more diverse, how company can be more diverse.
As TV Global once did, right? They just called white people to talk about races.
Yes, exactly. And I stay like, no, I didn't do that. But okay, I'm just an intern.
Yeah, that idea, like, it's important to bring everyone to the talk, but it's important to realize which is your place in this talk. You see, that's what I
Yes, it was a bit sad actually, because I include a lot of like a bunch of people, and they were really cool to talk and to approach this theme, mainly racism and diversity in this place of in corporative place, but it doesn't work. So
I see. Amanda, do you have something to share?
Yes, I've been working for a company, but just a small company, and this company don't have a great value, you know, because I believe that nowadays currently this I don't know how I say, this race rise is strong the years ago, you know, and because there are companies that are valued but don't accomplish them. It's complicated because just there are companies just use this to promote yourself, or because another companies use, and this is good when the company use this. I don't know how can I say this, not brand, but I fix value, I don't know. But don't use or just use this because another company use, and that's okay, you know.
That idea of supposing they back this kind of ideas and this stuff, but actually they don't do in practice.
Yeah.
I see.
And inside the company don't realize some laws of the company too.
Yeah.
yes, even if you see the employees of the companies just like white people in our place, and you find like 2 or 3 black people there. It's
But
really sad.
Yeah, when you see the picture, you see the true.
Yes, and they are normally serving someone like water, coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. And Dalma?
Yeah, in my case, it's a little bit different because I don't work for companies. I just work in one hospital. Nowadays, I work by myself. And when I was in this bigger hospital, there was no one doctor, black doctor
I
there.
see.
And in my college, there was in 200 people in my class, there was just 5 or 6 that were black. And so the problem is much bigger because even the company or the hospital, in my case, wanted to contract, I don't know if
hire.
they would, to hire a black doctor, there wasn't many in the market. And so the problems are it's bigger with with this with my profession, because the access in the college is more difficult for the black people, because in the private schools, the cost is very expensive, and in the public ones today is changing because the quotas. But when I studied, there wasn't quotas, and so in my college there was basically only white people.
I see. Yeah, that's something important what you say that I think that nowadays is changing a little bit, but even though that the access is still quite difficult for black people because as you said, private universities they are highly expensive and the public ones they are highly competitive, you know. And even though you see main cases of black people getting in the university, and it's important that this happens, even though this happens, this is not in a big scale, you see. Even though I've seen research from the IBGF and saying that the majority of the students in universities, they were black or what's the name, the black and brown people, but I don't see this being really true, to be honest. But yeah, I think that there is that, and even though in the medicine, I think that it might be the case also of not having so many. I know that there are in many other areas a lot of black people who tries to get into this position, you know, but just because of the color in general, they don't get those jobs, you see. So I think that this is something very broad. So Maria.
Yes, I agree. I think, unfortunately, there aren't so many black people in my class. I study in a particular school for the God's will, but there are just two people black, and I think it's kind of hypocritical about the companies to contract black people just to looks like that they are not racist. Because for me, black people have the same como é que é capacidade?
Capacity.
Capacity to compete with white people to enter in a company. The real the real problem for me and what I think that these companies need to do is say for the governments to help in the public schools because the majority of black people are in public schools, so they generally they don't have the same opportunities, and it's the problem. For me, it's not just contract without see their
Capacity.
capacity, but give to them some opportunity to have this capacity.
Capacity. That's it. Exactly. I see.
Capacity.
The problem is much further, right? So the fourth one is the IBG found out that black people earn 45% less than whites, 70% in the case of women, and 0.7% of all the highest positions are occupied by them. Do you think the majority of people in your country, in Brazil, believe racism is a problem? Is it important to believe that this is a problem? And do you believe this is a problem? I think some of
Yes.
you have already said about it, right?
Yes, first of all, of course, I believe it. And I'm black as well, so it would be like contradictory if I didn't. And I don't think that Brazilians think that racism is a real problem, because always when you try to discuss this theme with Brazilian or Brazilians, they say, oh no, but the real racist is in USA. Here, people just get with me, and that, and you start to think that it is a structural problem. So yes, it exists, and Brazil is a really racist country, but it is like uncovered, like you see it. Actually, you don't see it like for real, like in USA, but you feel it in some, how can I say, softly ways that people act with each other.
I see. Any other?
I think as Samara was saying, this difference between Brazil and USA, it's our racism is more difficult to. It's not. We cannot touch the racism. It's so spread everywhere, and in USA, it occurs in some in cases. It's and because of the lack of miscegenation, I don't know if
I think
this
that's the
word
word,
exists.
miscegenation. Uh-huh.
As we have here the miscegenation, it leads us to don't see this racism so easily as we can see in the USA. And for me, it gets more harder to combat the racism when it is so spread and so the word's not soft that I want to use. Seria o racismo, racismo velado. Em português é mais fácil. And so I think it's more difficult. I think that everybody knows that racism is a problem, but I think that most people don't want to start the conversation, don't want to think too much about that, don't want to talk about that, and we stay in this position. We know that racism exists, but we don't want to touch the racism.
That idea of if you talk about it, it becomes real, like that.
Yes, for me that racism exists is obvious. Everyone knows it, or if someone don't know, it's something wrong with his or her education. But yes, it's for sure a problem. But for me, for example, people say a lot of times, for example, that if we see someone black in the streets, we will stay scared about it's a ladrão, como é que fala ladrão? Robber. But if I see anyone in the streets, I will stay scared because it's Brazil. If it's black or white, I will stay scared because I'm alone in the streets. So I don't see the color of the person. I just see the person. I can be a little preconceituosa because in Brazil it's so dangerous. We don't know. We don't. Sometimes we can't believe in some person to don't pass some danger, especially girls. But I don't think for the majority of people, I hope that racism it doesn't exist.
I see.
I don't know if you understand my point.
I think I got it. I think actually, in my point of view, that's the point in my point of view that I'm not saying that this is your case, but there are a lot of people who think that they are not racist because they were taught that they were not racist in the way they see things, in the way that they do this. And in my point of view, as Samara and Idiomas said, the racism in Brazil is quite covered in terms of the USA. Not that I'm comparing, saying that one is better than another. All racism is terrible and it's awful. But I'm saying that in Brazil, sometimes it's harder to face it because we don't tend to look at us as the prejudiced person. we don't want to assume that kind of character, you see, and I think that is quite in the people's mind. Amanda?
Yeah, I believe racism is a problem because when I think there are people deaf and they get a depression about this, I think it's a problem because this racism needed to increase because it's so dangerous to it's danger when the people are racism another person because it's not hurt another person, but you can you think to deaf these people that you talking you can deaf or get a depression because you say or about your act. It's, it's hard, you know.
I, I see. Okay, then. Let me move on to the 50th question. Is race justice something for the business to solve? How could they do it? Should they, even when it implicates financial loss or loss of clients? Do you know? I think that I don't remember right now, but there are some brands right now, not just brand, but even the government, not just with in terms of racing, but in defending these flags when it comes to defending minorities in our country. The people tend to say like, oh, by now I'm not buying this product anymore because you agree with this kind of view or political view and this kind of stuff. I would like to hear from you. What do you guys think?
I think this happened. For example, Carrefour example, they that that episode occurred last year, and now we see. I saw on TV this week a big commercial of Carrefour not discussing, but showing some market thing about Black people. And this example shows for me that this kind that was this subject that we was discussing about the company are being only do something to show people that they are doing that. And this was an example, was a huge example of this situation. But in the same way, the society is changing. And if company don't change, they will be left behind. And so they must change. It's a power that's happening. And if they don't change, other companies
Yes.
will rise and replace and will replace them.
Yeah, sometimes they use this term to don't lose their clients and to maybe to looks like good people. They need to make these markets because if they don't put, I don't know, elo with Black Lives Matter, for example, the people can say bad about them. So every companies are saying they are not racist, and along with this movements, but we know that it's marketing. The companies needs money. It's capitalism. It's normal. And for me, yes, the companies need to be careful. If some, for example, some owner of some company do be racist, this company can close because of this, and a lot of workers can lose their work because of this donor of this company. So nowadays we can see that the companies are being very careful with these matters.
I see. Samara?
Oh, sorry, guys. So yes, actually, I don't think that just company have to solve the problem of race and neither races, but I think that companies have an important rule in this field. So, for example, one thing that I find really nice was last year when Magazine Luiza opened a program just for Black people, and it was amazing because if you take the frame of the big companies such as Magazine Luiza, Carrefour, Danone, Nestlé, whatever, the this frame is just fulfilled with white people. So why not open a program just for Black people? Because we don't have access to this kind of programs because we don't have access to education. So if you think by the side, it is really important, and companies have a big and important role in our society nowadays, mainly because, as Maria said, we live in a capitalism society, so you have to be you have to have a position in front of it.
I see.
So yes, that's it, I guess.
In a capitalist world, where the money is matters, right?
Yes.
So, Amanda?
Yeah, for example, there are companies that, I don't know, believe this program to add Black people in your company. I think it's very cool because it's a way to show that the Black can everything, and I'm Black, and the Black is the same another person, and they needed the same lower, and I don't know, that's it.
I see.
Yes,
Makes sense.
totally agree. For example, if you take the frame of employees 2 years ago of Ambev, you would see like a lot of white people, and barely exists one Black people there. So it is really important.
I see. I'd like to hear from Ronaldo. Welcome back, guys. As you are an entrepreneur, do you think that companies have a role on these things? And do you like the meeting?
We are talking about my companies. If you have some rules about this,
Yeah, your company or companies in general, do you think that do companies have a role
I
in
work. I work for the Bank do Brasil for 30 years. As I said, I retired there. Well, we didn't have any problem with this kind of things about prejudice or something like race or skin color. It's no problem in the bank. Yeah, in my company too, we don't have a problem. I was saying that when we put your thing in some matters, some subjects like that, it's so hard because you have to care about it, because you can not protecting, or how to say, reinforce the problem. Maybe I worry about it. I have to try in the soft way. I think that's better.
I see. Those talks, they are really tough, but as the guys were saying, actually, they also think that sometimes nowadays, actually, they are quite important to be safe. And I would like to listen from Renata. Did you like the meeting? And what do you think about this topic?
Yes, yes, it's a really interesting topic. And the week also, it's been amazing. And I could realize some things with these questions. For example, the question number 3, if I'm not wrong, about the meeting. About the meeting.
The meetings, the second one.
Yeah, the meetings. And then I realized that it never happened. I never have been in a meeting to talk about it. Yeah. And it's so important. It's so important. We need to learn how to talk about it. and we need to understand because some people like me, for example, I am a white person. Of course, I am a mix of races because I am Brazilian person, but for example, I don't know how it's to be the other side. The things that people suffer, the black people in their lives, I don't know. I'm not the other side. So it's important to try to understand. It's important to discuss about it, and then we will try to change the situation.
I see, yeah. As the guys were saying in my group, they say that the point that it's important to bring everyone to the talk, even though everyone should be aware of their place on the talk, right? I'd like to listen from Amanda. Did you like this meeting? What do you think about the topic? Amanda, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, my internet is so bad.
It's okay. Or would you like to talk? What do you think?
Yes, I appreciate so much. This time is very important to talk about them. The racism and the other themes, I love it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome then. And Kyle, what do you think about it? Do you think that's important to be talking?
Yes, I think, yes. I have been attending almost almost all the meetings in this week in a row at 5 p.m. And I think that this is so necessary to us to discuss about it. But it's so hard to us, white people, talk about racism because like I have been saying in another meeting, I've never suffered any racism in my life. So I can't imagine what is it for who is suffering this. So I think that even I don't know about, I don't know, I don't feeling in myself what is racism. We need to talk about it to avoid doing this. Maybe we can make this, how can I say, inside us sometimes. And talking about this, we can avoid doing this in our lives. I think that's it. It's so interesting issue to discuss here.
Yeah, it's that idea of to face a problem, you need to talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, this is not real. This is not in your reality at all, right? And I know that we're gonna have right now a French meeting. So guys, I need to finish this one. So thank you very much for coming. Now the system of feedback has changed. Okay, you guys need to click on this link that is on the chat. Please do click on this link and give me a feedback. You don't need to put your name if you don't want to. You can just say in general, how was your conversation, and give me your suggestions for the next meetings, okay? And you guys could please share our link to everyone else. You can check our courses. We have English, Spanish courses right now. And also you have many other links that you can share, okay? And please remember, we are in the middle of a pandemic. So mask up, wash your hands, and keep social distancing, okay? Thank you very much for coming to this meeting, and I see you